So if R is 0, that means there is no correlation between X and Y. Okay. The method of study of correlation can be broadly divided into two categories. One is a graphical method and mathematical method. A is a negative value. If A is a negative value, okay, then R indicate the negative correlation. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to one and all. I am Natesh, lecturer in Commerce, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, MYSURU, the Temple of Excellence. We are in the Unit 4, Session 2, third semester BCom Business Statistics, Correlation and Regression. In the last session, which is related to the same concept which is related to the correlation. In the last session, I have explained which is related to the theory and a graph under the graphical method, the scatter diagram and correlation graph. Okay, so we are trying to go for then property, what and all we can identify in the correlation. And today my agenda, scatter diagram and correlation. And the first one, the property of correlation coefficient. The property of coefficient means what exactly we need to identify certain properties. The first one, in the correlation, the symbolically we represented R because there are different types of positive, negative, perfect. So exactly the value, what it is exactly. So R lie between -1 to +1. So because R is nothing but your correlation, you can assume A, B, or A, X, Y. Okay. So A positive value, R indicate positive correlation. A is a negative value. If A is a negative value, okay, then R indicate the negative correlation. So in the graph you can understand much better. So if R is equal to +1 means the correlation is a perfect positive. Okay, in the last session with the help of graph also I have clearly specified. So in case R is -1 means the correlation is a perfective negative, because if you are getting a +1 means positive, -1 means negative correlation, perfect correlation. So if R is 0, that means there is no correlation between X and Y. Okay. Here low means the variable of non-correlated. There is no relation. Okay, when X and Y are independent variable, okay, which is not at all dependent. In that case, which is R is equal to 0 because which is not correlated. So R is a geometrical mean of two coefficients. So with the help of a correlation, we are trying to go for depending regressions, right? So R is unaffected by the change of origin. R is unaffected by the change of origin. Origin is nothing but your 0. So and the change of scale. Now R is an independent unit. Unit means 1. Okay. So in case of value, it is 1. Independent unit of measurement of the variable. Okay. Which is R is completely the correlation between X and Y, what we going to study. So which is completely, we need to get the value. So here in the method of study of correlation can be broadly divided into two categories. One is a graphical method and mathematical method. So under graphical method in the last section, which is related to the complete theory part, and today's session with the example, and I will give more clarity, the scatter diagram and correlation graph. And today's session, which is main focus on the graphical method, few problems. Okay, and now the mathematical methods, which is coming sections, I will try to cover. It is completely, I will cover these two methods which is there in your syllabus for third semester BCom. And see, there is one example in the last section. I have specified one more time just for recalling here. The scatter diagram, you call it as a dot diagram. Okay. So called dot diagram is a chart prepared to represent the relationship between the two variables. So when you are trying to go for depending a bivariate, which is nothing but two variable, okay, and then x-axis and the y-axis you need to consider. The rule of plotting the dot are the same in the case of line graph. The same rule we are following, because whenever you are trying to do for graph, so you need to set a scale. Variable x is shown the horizontal line. A variable x, you can assume this one is x, okay, which is a horizontal line. Y-axis, y variable, okay, which is a vertical scale, because we are using vertical scale for the y-axis. And only one dot would be marked for the each pair, because x and y each pair, because we are not taking only one variable, we need to consider the two variables. So where exactly we are, so the same diagram, y-axis, x-axis, the perfect, because what you study in the previous slide, which is related to the property. So with the help of property, we try to understand the perfect positive correlation means always equal to 1. If the strong positive means if you are getting more than 0.5, okay, so which is going for the strong, which is very close to 1, right? That's what the correlation is. A 0.8 is a strong positive correlation which is going for the upward direction. And here weaker means the dot is spread somewhere, it is spread, so that's what the value will be 0.5. okay, so the dot is, it is not very close, right? So that's what we can say, it is a weak. And spurious or nonsense correlation, there is no relation, okay, that's what we the dot is completely spread, there is no correlation, so that's what r is equal to 0. And the weak negative correlation, which is going for the top to downwards, okay, so that's what the value is minus, we are getting 0.5. In case of strong, plus 0.5, which is going for the right, okay, negative means which is going for the downward. And the strong negative means again the value will be very close to -1, that's what the value is minus 0.8, so it is very close. And no correlation, the same thing, okay. Next one, the perfect negative means the minus sign, when we are getting the perfect negative, the dots is very close to the line. And weak negative correlation is a minus 0.5, which is considered as a weak. So the same a y-axis and x-axis, the two variables is very important for the correlation. So there is one questions to understand much better. For the questions below, draw a scatter diagram to a suitable scale. Okay, you based on the data, based on the numbers, we try to decide what scale we need to select. So put in the line of best fit and use your diagram for the answer the question. So now which is very clear to understand, the you need to draw the scatter diagram using the information. Okay, the marks for the people studying in the science were, okay, so here the physics, there are two major subjects, science, physics, chemistry, biology, but here the two variables we consider, and physics and chemistry, the value also given, okay, we seeing the value we can decide the scale. If a people missed the chemistry exam but obtained 36, okay, because you need to take for example physics consider x, chemistry consider y, or you can consider for physics y, chemistry you can consider for x, okay, so you need to clearly specify. Now if you take the total, how much you are getting, that is if you try to get an average marks, now you have to take the x series and y series total divided by number of items. So here the 10 items is given, number is 10. 36 marks in the physics examination. What would be the expected marks in the chemistry based on the physics mark? Now we are trying to get an chemistry marks. Okay, so one more time I have copied just for understanding sake, because I'm not exactly, I not used for the graph, so approximately I have dropped. So I have considered the physics is a y series, y variables, and chemistry is an x variable. Okay, so here the first value which physics is a 35, okay, and chemistry is a 30. Now in front of the physics 35 and chemistry 30, now you have to put one dot, because exactly if you are using a graph sheet, you can exactly you can locate. So where it is intersecting, okay, both are, okay, so which is a pair, one pair, okay. Now again second pair, physics is 24, now 24 physics, okay, and chemistry 17, just opposite to 17, you are 1 mark, okay, and because this graph is going this side, so why? Because I am not used the graph. If I use the graph, exactly I can locate. So the same third pair will be chemistry, physics is 37, chemistry is 35, somewhere it is coming here, okay, and fourth pair 41 and 39, the physics 40, opposite 41, and chemistry 39, just 1 mark, okay, and again one more pair, 39 physics, chemistry 38, which is somewhere here, okay, and same thing, physics is 30, and chemistry is 24, somewhere here, 1 dot, okay, so which is not in the ascending order, which is a mixed value. Oh, so next pair is physics is 32 and chemistry is 27, again same thing, in front of physics value is 32, and chemistry value 27, just one dot. Okay, only one dot. Next pair, physics is 27, physics is 27, the chemistry is 24, so here somewhere is one dot. Next pair, 31 is physics, 31 opposite 31, and chemistry opposite 29. It is very close to here. Okay, one dot. And next one pair, 41 is physics, 41 it is physics, and chemistry is 40, just opposite one line. Now the dotted area is very close. Now you can extend one straight line in between. So that is, so now if you want to find out the exact average, so what you are doing, you can take this total. Okay, so the physics total we are getting 337, and chemistry total we are getting 303. Okay, so there are 10 items is given. If you try to find out x bar value or average, so sigma x, you know the sigma x divided by n, because which is looking like a discrete data. So if you divide it by 33.3, see now the chemistry, if you want to write the scale, I can write here the scale, x-axis denote, okay, x-axis 1 centimeter, okay, is equal to, I have took 10 difference. Now 10 unit you need to write. In that case, the scale if you compulsory. So mean of physics, so the total is 337 divided by 10 items, we are getting a mean value 33.7. And if you try to find out the chemistry arithmetic mean value, so the total is 303 divided by 10 items, then you are getting 10.3. So here people gaining 36 marks physics, because which is given in the question mark. So expected 33 point. See the physics based actually which is given 36 in the previous slide. See, when people miss the chemistry exam but obtain 36 because the chemistry value is given. Now using the chemistry value, the 36, what we are getting the average value, so which is nothing but 33.3, which is approximate 34 in chemistry. Okay, so there is one more questions. Okay, for question A and C, the numbers, for example, A, B, C. Okay, so alphabets. Draw a scatter diagram to suitable scale. Okay, seeing the data, we need to decide what scales we have to select, and describe each type of correlation shown. The marks for 10 people studying both mathematical and chemistry were as shown. Okay, now here x-axis or y-axis or x-axis max. Okay, so which is also looking like a discrete data, ungrouped data. So if you take the total, what is exact, if you want to find out the arithmetic mean, so the same the tabular format, the question I have copied for just for understanding sake. So here high positive correlation, how we are getting means actually the max is 54. So now we consider x-axis is a max and physics is a y. Okay, so which is also it is not looking like ascending order. Okay, somewhere it is spread. So the first 54. Just for max 54, which is something 55 here, 54 somewhere here, one dot, and opposite chemistry value 63, so which is here. See exactly, but actually if you are using a graph, once again you can locate the intersected value. Okay, so the pair, first pair and second pair, 22, max is 22 and physics is 36. Okay, max is 22, so which is here, and physics is 36, somewhere it is here. Okay, so again the same third pair, 65, max is 65, physics is 69, somewhere here one dot, and next pair 68 and 78. So like this, if you mark, then the dot is very close, so then we can decide which is a high positive correlation. If the dot is spread, so somewhere we are weak finding. So in this case, next one under graphical method, the correlation graph. Correlation graph means a graph we are using, exactly dot we are not using. Okay, so the correlation graph also called parallelogram. Okay, the correlation graph is also called parallelogram, is used where the variables are given with the reference to time. So the time basis when we are trying to go for depending, which is we are using a correlation graph. So the value of the two variables are plotted on the graph paper to get two curves. So because with the help of two variables only, we are trying to get a two curve. So one for each variable of x and y, okay. So the direction and closeness of the two curves show the presence or absence of the correlation. The two variables, okay, one variable we are considering a straight line, and one more variable we are considering for the dotted line. In the coming slides you can get a more clarity. If curve are parallel moving, okay, which is parallel moving, right side or left side, okay, so in the same direction, upward or downward, upward is going means positive, downward is going means negative. So the correlations will be positive if they move in the opposite direction, okay. So opposite direction, either it is the x is going up and which is increasing, y is going decreasing, which is the opposite directions, then we are finding the correlation is a negative. So this method, like the scatter diagram, give only for approximate idea, not exact degree of correlation. Degree we are not able to identify, but directions we are able to identify. So there is one question for understanding the correlation graph here. So plot the following data on a graph. Okay, so year is given and income and expenditure is given. So let us we consider year is an x and income and expenditure will consider a y. Okay, so whatever it is there, I have specified one more time as it is. Okay, so now we just consider the x-axis will be a years, okay, which is given in the question, and there is a two income and expenditure which is given in the lakhs only. So the value, and y-axis income and expenditure we specified. Okay, there are two, one is dark line and dotted line. So dark line indicate for expenditure and dotted line indicate for income. Okay, so now again we need to select the scale. That's what we are writing. X-axis, the x-axis, what exactly the unit we consider? 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter is equal to 1 year. And y-axis, because here breakage we are finding, okay, so 0 to 90, that's what I have specified here, breakage. Okay, so the difference we consider, we took for same thing, 10 unit we consider, okay, which is in the lakhs. The first one, the first year 2007, okay, the 2007 income value we are finding 100, so we mark here 100, and expenditure we specified 90, so we are mark here. Okay, so the graph is how we are getting in the origin. Okay, 0. And next one 2008 place income 103, just 103 which is below the 105, so I have mark here. Okay, so let me complete first one income, then I'll go to expenditure. So the dotted line, the first one I'll try to go for income. Income is considered the dotted line. So the first income is 100, second year is 2008, I have specified 103, and 2009 105, 2009 105, just exactly middle. Okay, so in this case graph exactly which is looking like a graph, so that's what I can able to locate exactly. So 2010 the value is 105, so I have marked here 105 exactly. And 2011 the value is 102, so just 102 above the 100. So 2012 112, so 112 which somewhere here. And 2013, so 190, it is below to 120, so I have mark here. And 2014 120, so 2014 120, opposite 120, 1 mark. 2015 the value is 125, I have mark here 1. So 2016 last value 130, so just 2030 130. Now whatever we are getting the first one what we did income, so I have extending the dotted line. I am using the dotted line because the same dark line if I use you will get confused. That's what for income I have considered dotted line. Okay, okay, if you want you can write key dotted line which is nothing but your income. Okay, or you can specify it within the graph one. Now moving for the expenditure, the 2007 the expenditure will be 90, so I have mark here. And 2008 the expenditure is 92, so which is 92 exactly here. And 2009 94, 2009 94, 2010 96, 2009 96, 2011 93, 2011 93, so exactly here. 2012 95, 2012 95, 2013 100, so 100 exactly 100 marks. The 2014 105, 2014 105, so which exactly, so year. So like this, if you extend according to the year, so now I can mark the dark line. Okay, so easily we can identify. Keep on watch for next section. Thank you.